Hello everyone, this is Kaelen Revense here with the Gift of You Blueprint. And you know what, I am so over the PowerPoint thing, kind of done with that. So I thought if I'm going to do a webinar, which is literally a seminar, I'm gonna give you me, because this is who I am, this is how I work, and this is how I roll. And I'm super excited to be here with you today. So make sure I've got a chat box here. If you've got questions, would absolutely love to have you go ahead and put some questions in the chat box there. Give me just a minute because I'm still figuring this fun stuff out, but you know what? It's all awesome. There we go. So if you've got any questions, go ahead and just put those in there and I'll make sure and answer them as we go. I am so excited to be here. You know, it's really interesting because as I've been preparing for this workshop, what I realized was that what I was trying to force myself to do yesterday was create this PowerPoint presentation. And it was like this struggle. And normally when I get in the zone of doing a presentation, I can chunk it out pretty darn quick. And it took me all day yesterday. It was driving me crazy. So I'm like, forget this. Oh, well, it didn't take me till late last night when I was like, I'm so brain dead, nothing's happening, nothing's coming to me, so I'm not going to do this. And I get a lot of inspiration at nighttime when I'm sleeping, and so it was like, Kaelen, give you. This is what you love. You love being able to serve women. You love being able to serve your community. So instead of putting up something that's not you, which is a PowerPoint presentation, go ahead and just go live. Why not? What have you got to lose? So that's what I'm doing today. So for those of you who don't know me, once again, my name is Kaelen Revense, and I've got it up here. I'm a life coach, I'm a speaker, and I'm an author of my book that's coming out this fall. Super excited. It is called The Gift of Me: How Abuse, Anxiety, and Body Bullying Taught Me I Am My Greatest Gift and Adventure. And I'm so excited because these are the lessons that my life has given me that have really helped to shape what I do now and how I move in this world. And I absolutely love it. So that's coming out this fall. And I'm going to tell you right now, as a coach, I will be making an offer at the end of this time that we're together. So I encourage you to stick around. But what I'm really excited about is we're going to talk about you, your future. What is it that you are missing right now in your life that you're maybe having a struggle, you're having a hard time putting stuff together, your challenges just seem insurmountable? You know, all of us, we all have challenges in our lives and things happen, and we have to be the ones to figure stuff out. I wish it would be so awesome that we could have it just be given to us and say, hey, you know, here's your book of life, and this is what you're going to do. These are the stupid things you're going to, do, and the mistakes you're going to make. But guess what? You can have now this list of how you overcome it. Well, that's not how our lives come together. That's not how we work and flow through this life. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story and how I came to this point here. Starting back, you know, I can remember being 4 years old and my mom coming to me and saying, 4 years old, okay, and mom saying, honey, the dad that you know right now is not your real dad, somebody else's. I'm like, what? Kind of hard to process that. And then between the ages of 5 and 8 years old, I was sexually molested by an extended family member. You know, these two things really colored my world. And as a very young person trying to navigate through life, the thing that came to my head was that, okay, so if I'm really good, if I try to be really good and do those things that are right, I might be able to be loved and liked and accepted, and maybe I won't feel so ashamed of what's happened to me. And thinking, of course, you know, is this me? Is it my fault? What's happened? It was, So I go through life, And that's how I live my life. I decided that, you know, I'm going to be as best as I possibly can be. And yeah, I screwed up a lot, but I reached a point in my life where I thought, oh, I've got everything in control. I could literally see my future. I could see it out there for, you know, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of miles. And I'm like, I'm golden, man. I got this down. No, just when I thought I had it down, my whole entire existence shifted. We wound up having to relocate from the place that we were living, where my life was at, and we moved to another state. And I was devastated. And I did not realize what the devastation looked like until I completely lost myself. I came out here trying to fill a void, thinking that I could replace what I had lost when we were living in our previous location. And as I went through, all I found was that I was just spiraling downward and downward and downward. And it was really painful. It was affecting me in ways that I couldn't have comprehended. Then what happened is the anxiety got so bad, that I was diagnosed with general anxiety disorder. And this was back in about 2011, so not too long ago. But it was at that point that my world just crashed. It was so dark. I wound up having to go on long-term disability for about 18 months. I couldn't work. Driving, oh, that was painful. I couldn't function. I couldn't be me. I couldn't live the way that I wanted to live, the way that I had dreamed that I was living, the way that I had seen my future out to where it just didn't end. It just was just gone. It was just gone. And my life existence was living on my couch, trying to get through all of the horrible, painful pain medications and medication changes just to try and get me to be balanced out. And it was hell. I mean, it was sheer hell. And, you know, when you're trying to navigate life with you know, these thoughts that you have when you were a kid, and then you have this, I literally thought, wow, I've got nothing. Yeah, I went to those suicidal moments. And that was terrifying. I'm thinking to myself, it would be so easy just to let it all go. By letting it all go, I literally felt this release, this joy, this happiness, and I was like, I can do this. And then I realized I got really scared. And I called up my husband. I'm like, you gotta come home because I'm terrified. At that time, I was watching my granddaughter, and I was terrified. And got some more help. Worked through all of that. Well, along with the anxiety came weight gain. And with the weight gain came severe body bullying, body hating, and body loathing. And this was my darkest time of my life. And I thought I'd gone through some pretty good crap before. No. I was going through some stuff that literally had altered my life. But this is what I learned. All of that stuff, all of that pain, all of that adversity and challenge, and all of the abuse and the I'm not good enough and the anxiety and all of that, the body bullying, literally became and are currently now my greatest gifts. Why? Because I proved to myself I didn't want that anymore. I wanted something more in life, and I had the ability in which to be able to make that happen. So this is what I did. I chose happiness. I chose gratitude. I chose love and joy and fun and laughter and excitement and enthusiasm. I'm like, screw that other stuff. I got to get through this. And what I discovered is, dang, I'm built to do hard things. I'm really happy about that. Dang, I am awesome because I can do hard things, because I have gone through the muck. That's what's been my greatest gift, is the muck. And being able to rise above it. Guess what? The muck's not over. I'm only in my early 50s. I still got, at least another half a century left to have more muck. It is what it is. But what that means for me is that there are more treasured lessons that I get to discover about me, that there are more exciting adventures that I get to go on because of the muck. This is powerful, but it's just not me. This is every other person's life and what we choose to do with it. And these are going to be some lessons that I've learned in regards to what does your vivaciously vibrant future look like? The best part of it is it's your choice. Well, let me share with you what some of the things that I feel that it's going to be, because for me, this is pretty darn powerful. So the first one here is, number one, live, let me make sure I get this, yes, live with expectancy. Oh, I love this one. Not, okay, make sure you focus on the not part, not expectations. Now, Kaelen, why are you telling us this? Well, for a long time I discovered that anxiety is unrealistic expectations. Say that one more time, Kaelen. Anxiety is unexpected or unrealistic expectations. So here I'm thinking, I've got to have this outcome. And so I'm thinking in my mind, this is how it has to work out. And so if it's not working out the way that I have in my mind, then I'm thinking I'm doing something wrong. Then I start to worry. Then the anxiety goes higher. And I'm like, oh my goodness gracious. But when we choose to live with the expectancy that we can be happy, the expectancy that we can be joyful, the expectancy that God and the universe, whatever you want to call it, your higher power, is our supply, then all of that greatness, all of that goodness comes to us. And we live in a state of being, a state of, and I love this part, because when we use the words, I am, those words right there put us into an exact state of being. We're now in a state of being. This is who I am. I am being someone. I'm not becoming someone. I am being this. So when I say I am grateful, I am in a state of being grateful. I am in gratitude. I am gratitude. When I live in a state of I am joy, I am wealth, I am abundance, I'm in those states of being. And when we are in the being state, we are able to receive, because we have to believe that what we are asking for, that it's already been given to us. So when we live with this expectancy and not expectation, whew, dang, you talk about taking a whole lot of pain and pressure and worry off your shoulders. It's like fantastic. It's like, okay, I got this. Because now we release ourselves, and this is critical. We release ourselves from the how, from the where, from the when, and from the who. Because all we know is when we live with expectancy, it's because we know why we want what we want and what it is that we want. This is huge. When we realize that we don't have to worry about this, wow. I don't know about you, but I can breathe a whole lot easier. Just like, then I can function and go through life. So, number one of the 5 essential steps for having this vivaciously vibrant future, wow, live with expectancy and not expectation. It literally is a game changer and gives us the opportunity of knowing that we are really more powerful when we turn and let this power that's really not being useful go. Because this is the painful part. When we start putting those limits, this is limitation. This puts limits on us. This keeps everything open to all the greatness, all the goodness, all the yummy stuff that's out there for us to experience. So super, super powerful. So number two is really fantastic. Of course, I think all of them are fantastic. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here doing what I'm doing. So number two, make sure I get this right. Yes, what we do today, okay, that's the big thing. Today shapes our lives. And it's not just about doing. It's about being, thinking, really focusing on these two here. So when we take a look and focus on the fact that what we are focusing on today, well, let me put it this way. In actuality, where we are, each one of us, where we are at this moment in our lives is nothing more than a reflection of our past thoughts that have brought us to this point in time. So if that means that our past thoughts have brought us here to this present moment, then our present thoughts are going to take us into our future, right? So now let's take a look at that. If we are focusing and living and being present in this moment, then what we're experiencing is literally shaping and twisting and manipulating, massaging, I shouldn't say manipulating, but massaging and preparing us for what our future is, for good or for bad, okay? So if we're in a thought process of, I'm not good enough, I can never make enough money, my life sucks, I have terrible relationships, I can't seem to keep a job, all that stuff is just yucky to me, I don't like it. And well, guess what? You're going to get more of that because that's your current thought process in this moment. And you and I, the only time we have is right now. Right now. Tomorrow, guess what? When tomorrow comes, it's going to be today. So there's really no tomorrow. It's always this present moment. So if this is our most powerful moment, what are we doing with it? We need to be able to focus on the fact that what we think, the actions that we take, the state of our being, that is shaping our future. So, once again, why not go ahead and think, I am amazing. I am fantastic. I am abundant. I am all of these things. And what that does is it starts to shape the way that our future is going to come out to be. But here's the fun part too. So as we start to think these things, we're going to have, oh, I love this part. This is like super fun. Let me get another color here. This is what happens is then we receive inspired actions that we start taking. And when we start taking inspired actions, what this gives us is the ability to move in that direction. When we take actions that are forced, that aren't in alignment with how we're feeling of what we really want in life, or it's like we're forcing it, it's painful. And we can, it's so easily, because as human beings, we can really get into the nitty-gritty of stuff, the super, super tiny, minute details, and think, I've got to get this done. If I don't get this done, I'm not going to be able to function or do anything else. When in actuality, that's a forced action, as opposed to saying, you know what? Let's just put this and shelf it on the table for just a bit. Come back. Let's start focusing on what is it that I really want? What feels good? Ooh, my favorite four-letter F word, and I'm not a swear, it's like not my thing. But this is my favorite four-letter F word, is to feel. And when we feel something, that's our inner self, our intuition. It's that divineness within us that's saying, listen, I got something I want to say. And when we pay attention to that, we are now living with inspired action. And then as we step back and get clear, we know what inspired actions to take. So the second part of our 5 essentials for our vivaciously vibrant future is to really focus on what we do today and how we think shapes our future. So focus on your present moment to change your future. Focus on your present moment to change your future. You're going to see some beautiful things that are going to transpire. So I am for those of you who know me, one of my mantras, and as a kid, so one other thing, just a little bit of go to my backstory here. So when I was 4 years old, my mom tells me that one thing, and then I can remember this has been the other part that's just completely shaped my life. This other section was, or this experience, I can remember I was 4 years old, and we'd gone to a local grocery store. And the woman behind the counter, she says to my mom, she's like, oh, can she have a cookie? And my mom's like, sure, why not? So she gives me a cookie, and at 4 years of age, I say back to her, I say, thank you very much. And the woman turns to my mom, and like yesterday, I remember it. I remember the cookie. But she says, I have never heard a child that young say thank you before. Man, that has stuck with me since I was 4 years old. It has been my mantra. My mantra has always been to show gratitude, to be appreciative, to say thank you, and really genuinely mean it. I mean, from as little things as, honey, thank you for mowing the lawn. Child, thank you for doing the dishes. Thank you for picking up the mail. Thank you for whatever. Thank you for just putting your dirty dishes in the sink. Really showing that gratitude has been a game changer. About 6 years ago, that's when I started to do gratitudes on a consistent and conscious basis. In the moment when I was experiencing my deepest, darkest times, gratitude was one of the main things that helped get me out of that situation. So grateful, without being redundant, for that. So the third one here, I'm going to go with black, is be grateful. And I'm not talking just in general, but be grateful for what you currently have. And you're thinking, oh my gosh, Kaelen, why in the world will I be grateful for what I currently got? Well, guess what? All of it's a gift. All of it is wonderful. All of it has been supplied to you with love and kindness and just this wonderfulness from your higher power, from your divine source, from God, from the universe, whoever you want to, whatever name you put on that. But when we stop and we look around and we are grateful for what we currently have in this moment, then you can certainly bet that we're going to be able to receive what we want because we're grateful now. You know, there are those folks, and I've experienced it because that was my life. You know, it's like, I'll be happy when. I'll be happy when I get this degree. I'll be happy when I achieve this position. I'll be happy when we move from this place. I'll be happy when, and the list goes on. And for me, when we relocated here to the Midwest, I was like, oh, I'll be happy when, and I went and got a master's degree all during this crazy anxiety time. You talk about, let's just add more onto it. It was just awesome. Actually, it really was. It was a huge healing part for me. But I was like, I'll be happy when I get my master's degree. I'll be happy when I can find a position that really fills my soul. I'll be happy when, and guess what? That happiness never came from those things. Those things did not bring me the happiness that I was seeking. In actuality, it was the gratitude, stopping and saying, in this present moment, this is what I'm really grateful for now. And I found that happiness, my internal happiness, came from being grateful for what I currently had. Here's a story. I can remember I was working at an online university, and I don't know, for some reason I had car envy of other people. And at the time, I was driving Pontiac Grand Am, gold car, true story. And I'm like, ugh, I don't want this car anymore. Oh my gosh, I don't want this. I'm finished with it. I don't want this car anymore. And I'm like, whoa, Kaelen, let's back up, let's back up. So we're driving down the road. And I'm like, you know what? And I've got this car, the steering wheel in my hand, and I'm driving, and I'm like, you know what? We're going to go into a gratitude stream. Let's just shift this for a moment. So this is what I do. I'm driving, and I'm like, you know what? Oh my gosh, this car is paid for. I don't have a car payment. Oh my gosh, I'm so grateful that I don't have a car payment, that this car is paid for. Woo! I'm so happy. So then I'm driving a little more, and I'm like this car runs really well. There's not had to be any type of, repairs or fixes or, just my normal maintenance, but it runs really well. I'm like, I am so grateful that this car runs so good. So then I'm going and I'm driving along, and I'm like, it just get great gas mileage. Because at the time I was driving like 25 miles each direction for my employment. I'm like, dang, this thing gets great gas mileage. And I really began to be super grateful for that vehicle in that moment. So then, and my husband and I, we really like the Hyundai brand. I don't know, it's just like our thing. And so this one day, not too long after this whole love experience and gratitude experience for my Grand Am, we're like, you know what? We felt like we needed to go take a look at some Hyundai cars. Specifically, we were looking at the Sonatas. So we go back to our dealer, and we go and find our great salesman that we love so very much. And he's like, you guys go and test drive this car. He says, I've got something that just might work for you. We're like, okay. So we go and test drive this, and we're like, dang, we really like this. I think this could be a good car for us. We come back, and this is what he has for us. He says, so this particular car is a demo. It's got just under 5,000 miles on it. So because it's getting to its top, we have to sell it. But because we have to sell it, we have to lower the price on it. So he says, plus, and it's a limited edition. It had all the bells and whistles at the time, leather seats, heating and cooling on the bum. Love that. All those different kinds of things, right? And we're like, oh, wow, I don't know. And then he's like, but you've also got your vehicle that you can do a trade-in. And because you're a repeat customer, we're going to take more off. So we literally got a car that was closer to the $30,000 price for $15,000. And we're like, we got this. And we just knew. But I knew it couldn't have happened unless I was grateful for what I had currently been given. And you talk about a huge blessing. I was like, dang, this is awesome. This totally thrills my heart because I see the power, and gratitude is a power, but it can only be wielded when we are in that state of being grateful for what we currently have so that we can receive what we really want. And when you go into gratitude and you feel it, and as I coach my clients, I'm like, when you do gratitude, feel it in your gut, feel it way down here, and you feel it moving up through your solar plexus and into your heart to where it just comes out audibly. And you're like, it's a game changer. When you go to gratitude, as opposed to just having to be like, oh, I'm going to say my gratitude, you're doing my gratitude, blah, blah, blah. Feel it. Feel that gratitude within you, and you have made a significant shift in not only your present, but your future. It is powerful. Absolutely love that. So now, here's another thing. Number 5, or number 4, just kidding, number 4, okay, is that we need to say yes to ourselves and yes to our futures. Oops, there we go. Now, when we say yes to ourselves and we say yes to our future, we are making a commitment. We are drawing a line in the sand, and we're saying, okay, we're done. We're done with having the crappy things. Actually, let me put it this way. We're done with reacting to all of the fires that seem to come to us. We're over that. We are now standing firmly planted with our feet on the ground, line drawn in the sand, and saying, I am standing for my goodness, for my greatness, and I have the power. Instead of having things react to me, I am now choosing to live my life with intention. My intention is to be joyful, happy, loving, fun, full of laughter, full of excitement, full of gratitude, full of enthusiasm. That's our choice. We are choosing that consciously to move through this beautiful, amazing, glorious world in a state of action and intention, as opposed to being reacted to. And feeling like all we're doing all day long is putting out fires, reacting to our pain, feeling like we're out of control, that our power has been given to somebody else, that we are powerless. Those days are gone. We're finished with that, right? So when we say yes to ourselves and yes to our future, we have made that commitment to us. Now, here's the thing. You're going, wow, Kaelen, I don't know. You know, it sounds really selfish to just say yes to me. How in the world can you expect, you or I, expect to give and serve and love and help others and our family and our friends and our community and our coworkers and the sacred work that we're doing if we are not taking care of us first? You know, there's that saying that if you've got a cup and you keep trying to pour into others people's, or maybe even a bucket, pouring into other people's buckets, but soon there's not going to be anything left to give because you've given everything. And then at the bottom are the dregs. And the dregs of the bucket, they're the yucky, nasty parts. And guess what? That's normally what our family, our friends, our most intimate relationships receive when we don't stop and take care of us. So this is what I'm referring to. Fill up your bucket. Do those things that bring meaning and joy for you, for me. These are the things that I do that you are able to do. Because when we fill this bucket up, guess what? This is the best part. The best part is the overflow, all the excess that goes over, goes to our family, our friends, our intimate relationships, our coworkers, our community, our church service, whatever that is, because we have made a conscious choice, once again, to say yes to ourselves and yes to what we want to have happen in our future, because we are taking care of us. You and I are our most important, because then we are able to serve and love and give in the most beautiful and spectacular way that we could have never imagined otherwise. And you know what I'm talking about, because I can guarantee you that there are those of you right now that are living with the dregs of your bucket, and you and your family are getting those nasty parts. And you are depleted, you're exhausted, you feel like you just can't go on, you just have nothing left, and it's because you need to stop, put that on the shelf, come back and say, what can I do to take care of me today? Just start with today. What can I do to take care of me today? Maybe it's going on a walk. Maybe it's getting on the treadmill for only 10 minutes. Maybe it's coloring. Maybe it's painting. Maybe it's writing a letter to a friend. Maybe it's just doing some surfing on the internet. Maybe it's watching your favorite TV show just so you can have fun for you. But focus on what that is that's going to be able to feed you and bring you that joy and that love and that happiness as you start taking care of you. So number 4, say yes to yourselves. Say yes to your future. This is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So now, here, If you are having a hard time standing up for yourself, this is going to be number 5. So number 5 comes down to, if you're having a hard time standing up for yourself, ask for help. And that's where I come in. Nothing brings me greater joy than being able to serve the women that I coach, that I love, that I get to be in their presence, that I get to, and I do this remotely as well as in person. But it's just the most beautiful thing, because as I do this remotely, I'm able to use a platform called Zoom that allows me to use video technology, so I can still love and feel their goodness and greatness, as opposed to just hearing their voice. I get to see their beautiful faces. And I just absolutely love being able to serve and help in any and every way that I possibly can. So when it comes to, if you feel like you're not strong enough to stand up for yourself, ask for help. It might be through me, it might be through a therapist, it might be through a really good friend, it might be through a clergyman, it might be through whomever. But whatever it is, it might be through another life coach, and that's awesome. Whatever it is and whoever it is, ask. Ask, seek, and knock. The most common phrases throughout all Holy Writ. And this is what's pretty fun, I think anyway. When you take a look at ask, it is to ask, to seek, and to knock. We have been told that when we ask, we can receive, but we've got to believe that we're going to have it. We've got to really believe that we can receive the help that we're seeking. And when we start to do that and to ask for help and be really sincere about it, we're able to start standing up more for ourselves. And then the day comes eventually, like for me now, that I'm so grateful for, because it wasn't that many years ago that I was on a couch, flat out, couldn't do anything. I couldn't take care of my family. I couldn't do anything. They could barely take care of me. There were days that I went without a shower for several days in a row because it was just too exhausting. And I had to ask for help. And I'm so grateful that I did. And so now it's my opportunity to be able to give that help back. So one of the other things that I've learned is that in order for us to find our greatest and most wonderful joy and happiness, is that whenever you start to feel that gooiness, like, oh, something's happening, something's kind of painful, what's going on, da-da-da-da-da, this is what's happening. And this is why we want to ask for help. Because, let me put this in orange just because I think it's a rather fun color. Discomfort is the doorway to breakthroughs. Now, if you are feeling any kind of pain or challenge or whatever, guess what? This discomfort that you're feeling in your soul, this is letting you know that you are preparing yourself for a serious breakthrough. And here's a secret. You don't just have one breakthrough in your life. You have a gazillion of them. So they're everywhere you turn. Breakthroughs are everywhere that we go. So we have to be cognizant of that fact that everywhere we go, we're going to find breakthroughs happening. And we're going to be in discomfort. But it's like, remember what I said in the beginning. We are built to do hard things. We are able to overcome and to move upward. This is a very, very beautiful and powerful thing. So here I'm going to give you this last image. I'm going to erase some of this right here. I'm going to come over here. Let's erase this. Oh, it doesn't erase very well, does it? But that's why they got this. Okay, so let me just give you this example here. Okay, here we go. So what I've discovered is that in our lives, make sure you can see this over here good. In our lives, we've got to go through the muck, right? So if we're talking about discomfort, this is what we're going to see. When we have, and here's my little funnel here, okay, I'm going to go like that, shing, like this. I'm an awesome drawer, don't you think? Here we go, okay. This is the part that we have to go through. So what happens is when we're in this discomfort mode, we start to feel the squeeze. This is the squeeze that is taking place, and it's constricting, and it feels like we can't breathe, that we can't move forward, right? Okay, so when this happens here, what we need to know is that, oh, yeah, I remember Kaelen saying discomfort is the doorway to breakthroughs. Okay, I'm getting ready for a breakthrough, but what happens? What happens is we go into fear. We go into doubt. We go into, can we do this? Should we do this? I don't think I can. Oh my gosh, I'm going to die. I'm going to suffocate. But then what happens? We realize we cannot go around it. We cannot go below it or above it. We literally have to go through the pain. We have to go through the pain. And when we go through the pain, we get on the other side. And the other side opens up like this. It opens up to the heavens, and it's the abundance. And everything that we need is right there. We have just proven to ourselves that we are capable of doing some seriously hard things. And the gift that we receive is when we get on that other side, is that if you notice, this is unlimited. This is where true abundance lives. True abundance. Down here is false. There's a cap, and it's going to squeeze you. But if you allow it, instead of staying in this area here and feeling that constant squeeze, allow yourself to go through it. It's kind of like, if you look at it, kind of a weird way, you're birthing a new you. You're going through that birthing canal that literally is just testing what it feels like your very lifeline. That you're going to suffocate, you're not going to be able to make it through. But what happens is we literally are meant to go through this over and over again. And every time we come out, we're stronger, we're better, we're more capable, we're more equipped. We see things in a way that we're more grateful, we're more thankful, we're more happy. And we realize we did it. We realize, dang, I am awesome. I am so awesome because I've been able to do all of this hard stuff. This is seriously powerful. I am so happy and grateful for who I am, that I was able to go through that. And if I've done that, what else can I do? What else am I capable of? What other adventures lie within me? What other discoveries do I have to make about myself? We haven't even tapped the tip of the iceberg of our true potential and all that we're capable of doing. So as I take a look here, when we're focusing on our vivaciously vibrant future, it's our choice. It's the choices that we make that put us in a place where we're able to feel our greatest love, joy, and happiness. So let's just recap for just a moment. Number one, live with expectancy, not expectation. Expectancy gives us the opportunity of knowing what we wanted, why we wanted, and just the excitement and love that comes there. When we realize that we're not putting any expectations on it, we don't have to worry about the how, the when, the where, the who. Those are things that just get us all stuck in our own heads anyway. So we can just push those off to the side. Number two is what we do today shapes our lives. How are we thinking? How are we acting? What are we doing? What type of inspired actions are we taking? Number three, be grateful. Be grateful for what you currently have so that you can then you talk about expectancy of having more come, because more greatness comes. More beautiful things flow when we're grateful in our present moment. Number four, say yes to yourselves and yes to your future. Draw that line in the sand and say, I'm choosing me. I'm choosing to take better care of me, mind, body, spirit. I am filling up my cup. I am living with intention and focus in my life as opposed to having life react to me. I'm saying yes to me and yes to my future. And then number 5, ask for help. When that discomfort comes, reaching out is the best thing that you can do. So as we close up our time today, the reason I'm here is to share this information with you. This is what I do. This is this beautiful coaching program that I have called The Gift of You, the blueprint. I've created a beautiful 7-module blueprint, actually 8 modules now, that speak to these issues here in further detail. And this is just such a tip of that iceberg. But I'm in a position where I'm looking for the opportunity of serving more women and being able to love on them and to nurture them and to go through their tough times and their beautiful times and really be that life coach for them that they're seeking. So right now I have group sessions that are open, and I just am looking forward to being able to serve in any way possible. Now, by taking this time and saying, you know what, I am going to say yes to me. I deserve to have something more. I only want to serve if you want to be served. I'm not here to do a sales pitch or anything like that. Yeah, I've got bonuses that I can give and all that kind of stuff. But what I want to give you is the ability to know that you are amazing and awesome. That you are your greatest gift. That you are your greatest adventure. And if you are having any doubts at all about where you are at in your life right now, I am here to help in any possible way. So I invite you to message me on Facebook, do a private message, friend me, whatever that looks like. And I would absolutely love to connect with you and see if there might be an opportunity for me to be able to serve you. What a joy, what a pleasure it has been for me, and I hope for you as well, in sharing this time, blowing out the PowerPoint presentations. I'm just really tired of those. I wanted to share me with you and the love that I have for this great work that I have been so blessed and called to do. So I am taking clients right now for my Gift of You Blueprint coaching program. And just as a sideline, it's a big sideline actually, my business partner and I, actually 2 business partners, Becky Norwood and Amy Ballin and myself, we are the co-founders and owners of Women Up International. Women Up International is an organization where we are focusing on serving women who have experienced any type of victimization, abuse, trauma in their lives. And our message is to be able to get this message of joy, love, hope, and happiness out to 1 million women in between now and the next year. We have what's called the Million Women Message Movement, and this is what we're focusing on. And this is part of what I do. I coach women to help them see their greatness, their goodness, their awesomeness, because we are so awesome. But a lot of times we either have ourselves or other people that tell us that we're not, and it's false. Because if we know who we truly are, then we know how amazing and beautiful and wonderful we are. So, if this has been something that has inspired you to take inspired action, then I invite you to message me. Share this with someone who has been going through a hard time. Maybe this might be something that will help them, that I could serve them in any way at all. But I'm so grateful for your time here today and being able to share with you part of my heart, part of the gifts that I've been blessed with that have come through some yucky stuff. But you know what? In order to find the gold, you have to dig through the dirt, right? You have to go looking for it. And I found it, and I know that there's more to come, and I'm super excited about that. So thank you so very much for joining me today. You can reach me at, my email address is Kaelen@Women Up International. One more time, that's Kaelen, Kaelen, at womenupinternational.com. You can like me on my Facebook page at The Gift of You Blueprint. You can also friend me at Kaelen Revense on Facebook, Kaelen Marie Revense at Facebook. But share this with other people. Like this, this webinar here. But let's get this out, because women are in pain and we need each other. We need to help serve each other and to help love each other and to care for each other. So thank you so very much. And I am currently setting up appointments to meet with individuals. So please go ahead and come back, and would absolutely love to connect with you. And here is definitely something that I wanted to share with you. My book that's coming out in the fall, The Gift of Me, How Abuse, Anxiety, and Body Bullying Taught Me I Am My Greatest Gift and Adventure. I would love to be able to, if you schedule a time with me, I would love to be able to give you a free copy of that when that comes out in the fall. And I'll make sure and put your name next to that, that list. But thank you so very much for your time and for sharing it with me. Have a beautiful day. Remember, you are your greatest gift and your greatest adventure. Signing off for now. Thanks. Bye-bye.